Hi, I'm Tammy. Welcome to Yoga with Tammy. And today we're going to stretch and lengthen and strengthen and all kinds of fun stuff. So let's get started. We're going to begin today in extended child's pose. So bring your knees to either edge of the mat, sideways, and then sitting at first on your knees. This is a great stretch already for the feet, for the tops of the feet. And from here, we're just going to slowly, if you can, go as forward, stretched out with your arms and your fingers, active fingertips pressing into the ground. And as you can, just lower your forehead to the mat and take a few deep breaths. Feeling the release getting deeper with each out breath. You could even inhale deeply through the nose and then exhale like a big, great sigh with an open mouth on the exhale. And just surrender to the mat, opening up the hips, opening up the shoulders, noticing the energy softly moving through the body as you expand and release. One more deep breath. And from here, we're going to gently and slowly come up to tabletop position, all fours, with the hands directly under the shoulders, the knees directly under the hips. And we're going to do a few cat-cows. So inhaling, arching the neck up, eyes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arching the back, stretching the neck and the entire length of the spine. Inhale up, feeling every vertebra stretch as you bring your chest to the sky. And exhale, arching the spine, feeling the wonderful stretch all the way through the spine. Feel free to move forward and back a little bit. Any adjustments you need to make to feel good. Inhale up. And exhale down. From here, we're just going to play a little bit to extend the stretch from the flat back. So first, let's bring our hands to the left, just beyond the mat, as far as you want actually. And then just slowly work the spine so that you can feel a stretch all the way through the right side of the spine, even the neck, if you'd like, moving it slowly, just feeling out where you need to stretch. We can also bring yourself down towards your feet and then back up, just stretching anything that needs to be stretched. Great, and then we'll slowly bring it to the other side, so bringing the hands to the right side of the mat. And then stretching to the left, feeling the whole left body lengthen out. The spine, the side body, the neck, lowering towards getting your buttocks towards the feet and coming back up, moving from side to side. There's no rules here, whatever your body needs to stretch. Okay, great. And then we'll come back to tabletop position. Do one more cat-cow. And on the exhale, bring the hands a little bit in front of you. Tuck the toes under your feet and let's come up into a downward facing dog. Make any adjustments you need. Make sure your hands, your fingers are spread wide, pressing strong into the mat. Same with your feet. Your heels may not reach the ground, but we're just aiming to have a strong and centered motion of the legs reaching towards the ground. So you feel an equal weight on the top half of the body and the lower half of the body, feeling strong like a mountain. And just to stretch out the hamstrings, we can walk the dog, so bending each foot generously, taking turns from side to side. And then coming into a downward facing dog, still for one deep breath. The neck is just hanging gently, an extension of the spine. And then we're going to lift up the right leg, making sure your hips are nice and even. And then bringing the knee to the nose and an exhale. Inhaling up. Exhale, knee to nose. We're coming into an almost plank position here. Inhale up. It doesn't matter if the knee reaches the nose, but this is what we're aiming for. And then planting the right foot between the two hands and lowering the back knee. Bringing the top of the foot to the ground. Let's just feel out this stretch here for a moment. Making sure we're not hunching over with the spine, but feeling a nice stretch through the back body, through the inner hip of the right leg. And just take a couple of deep breaths. And from here, if we can come onto the fingertips and then raise the hands up into a low crescent lunge here. Looking up if you can, if not, looking straight ahead. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Shoulders dropped away from your ears. Trying to keep the hips, not the right hip from coming forward, but scissoring so that the hips are in a straight, square position. Nice stability and foundation. And just another deep breath. And on an exhale, we'll bring the hands down both to the inside of the right foot, bringing the right foot out a little bit into a nice gentle lizard variation here. So this is a very deep stretch in the hips, so be kind with yourself. Feel you can be here, anywhere that you can be so that you can feel this nice stretch without going farther than you can go. And we can just stay here, or we can bring out the foot a little bit wider, the right foot, and then put your right hand on the inside of the knee and just pressing the knee out as far as you can, just again to deepen the stretch of the inner hip. Just as far as you can, as long as it's easy, always working with the breath. So we're inhaling and expanding, and then exhaling into the stretch. Great. Hands back down. Now we're going to bring the right foot back and raise into a plank position. And then keeping your arms close to your chest, we're going to lower all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet down and raising gently on an inhale to either a baby cobra or a full cobra, whatever feels good for you today. And then exhale down. We'll push up into plank and then exhale into downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here, walking the dog if you need. Flat, straight spine. And then we'll do the other side. So bringing the left leg up. And then exhale as we try to get the knee towards the chest or the nose. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And knee to nose on the exhale. Bringing the left foot forward, dropping the right foot. And then coming into our low lunge here. Making any adjustments you need. Making sure the hips are square. You can be here or here, hands down, anywhere you need to be today to work that nice stretch in the hips. Just feeling it out. Trying to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then we'll bring the hands to the fingertips if you're not already there. And then we'll actually raise the fingers up into our crescent lunge. Arms straight up. You can even arch your back a little bit if you'd like, or keep your hands straight, whatever feels right. One more deep breath. And on the exhale, bringing the hands down, bringing the left foot a little bit wider, so we're now in a lizard on the other side. And then just taking a deep breath, paying attention to the stretch throughout the entire mid-body in our hips. Or you can bring the left leg out a little bit further and bring the left hand to the inside of the left knee, pushing it out to deepen the hip stretch. Always working with the breath and staying very mindful of what your body can do today. One more deep breath. And then bringing the hands back down, bringing the left foot back into a nice plank position. Keeping the arms by the sides, lowering gently all the way belly to mat. And then coming up into cobra on an inhale. And exhaling down. Inhaling, raising to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Great job. Taking a nice deep breath. If you need to at this point, you can also come to your knees and even come into a child's pose. Just to gather your breath, or you can stay in downward facing dog. Either way, we will come back and all meet together in downward dog. And then on an inhale, raise the right leg up. And then exhale, bringing it through. Keeping, if you can always lower the knee or keep the left leg raised this time as we come up into a high lunge. Keeping the back leg straight, the heel pressing towards the back end of your mat, making sure the hips are square, the spine is straight, arms up. And then on an exhale, dropping the back leg, the heel, and with the toes facing the mat, lowering the arms to shoulder length, warrior two. Making sure the hips are square, spine is straight. We're feeling grounded and strengthened by our lower legs. And then lifting and extending in the top half of the body. Taking a couple of deep breaths, gazing over the right, beyond the right fingers. Lowering the back arm, raising on an inhale, the right arm into reverse warrior. And then inhaling and cartwheeling back into a plank. Lowering to the mat, to the belly. Inhale up. Cobra. Exhale down. Inhale plank. Exhale downward facing dog. One more deep breath. And then we'll do the other side. So bringing on an inhale the left leg up. And then exhale, bringing the foot forward. Maintaining, if you can, a high lunge here. You can always lower the knee or keep it up. If you need to have more space for balance, you can always bring your left leg out to the side, or you can keep it where it is as we come into our high crescent lunge. Square hips, straight spine, head stacked over shoulders, shoulders dropped. And a deep breath. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, back foot down, coming into warrior two. We're aiming to have the knee stacked over the ankle, square hips, gazing, very strong, powerful stance, gazing beyond the left fingertips. And exhale, bring the back leg down, inhaling up and over, reverse a warrior. And then cartwheeling back down to plank. Either lower to the belly or lower down, chaturanga, to up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to lower the knees and come into our straight danda staff pose as we're sitting, preparing for a front forward bend. So sitting on a cushion, if you'd like to raise your hips so that you can keep your spine straight, bring your hands to your side and just take a couple of deep breaths. On an inhale, bringing the arms up, extending, and then on an exhale, lowering from the hips, dropping the hands wherever you need to, wherever feels comfortable, here or here, maybe here or here, and lower. Inhale, extending straight back. Exhale, down, release. Inhale, extend and straighten. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, release. Inhale, coming up to sitting. And now we will come into a sitting wide stance. Only as wide as you can go, of course. You can be here, it's all good. Anywhere that you find yourself landing today, as long as we're maintaining the nice straight spine. And then we'll come to one side just simply by raising the arms and then twisting so that you're looking at your foot, towards your foot. And then exhale, again coming down wherever your hands land. so that we're twisting and then bending. Amazing for the flexibility of the spine, and of course the flexibility of the hips, which is definitely a work in progress for everyone. And same thing, we're exhaling and releasing, inhaling, extending and straightening. Exhale, release. In your own time. Do this for 3 breaths. Coming back to center, swaying a little bit, stretching it out. And then we'll do the other side. So bringing the arms up and then twisting to the other side so that you're looking towards your foot. And on an exhale, we will lower only as far as we can. We don't want to overdo it. And then just with as much ease as possible, allow yourself to fold into this stretch. 3 breaths. You might find that with each exhale, it gets just a little bit easier to go deeper. The breath is actually allowing the body to expand and to deepen the stretch, so always be aware of moving with the flow of the breath. And coming back up to center, stretching it out. And from here, we'll bring our hands in front of us as far as we can. And then inhale to lengthen and straighten the spine. And then exhale, even if we're only coming forward an inch or 2, it's great. Coming forward as far as you can. This is a very deep stretch on the inner hips, so be careful and just enjoy observing what your body can do today. When you find yourself at an inhale, let's come back up. And then we're going to slowly bring our feet together until soles of the feet touch. You can always have a cushion under you, as always. And bringing your hands wrapped around your feet as we prepare to lift up the knees, butterfly. Pose and flap our wings. Put some nice energy into it. Straight spine, stretching out and releasing the inner hips at the same time. And just keep going up and down, maybe a little bit faster. Great. Now from here, I think we've earned a little bit of time flat on our backs. But for now, we're going to bring our feet as close towards the buttocks as you can, lying with a flat back, flat neck. You might even want to kind of lift up your head and stretch it out. Make sure you have a completely flat back, palms facing down. As on an inhale, we lift the hips up very slowly until you're as close to feeling the weight on your shoulders as you can. And on an exhale, lowering vertebra by vertebra until you're back on the ground. One more time, we'll inhale up. If you'd like, you can also clasp your hands underneath you and get yourself even more onto your shoulders. We'll take one deep breath here. Inhale up. And releasing the arms, dropping down vertebra by vertebra to the ground. Great. Now let's lift up the feet, holding onto the outside of the feet or the inner side of the feet, whichever feels better for you. And then using the weight, using gravity, and also using your hands to help you push a little bit gently your knees towards the ground, towards your shoulders, towards the inside of your shoulders. Continuing the nice deep stretch, noticing now maybe how much more space you have in your inner hips than at the beginning of this practice. Not going too far, but just gently observing how your body's feeling right now. And on an exhale, release. Bring your legs flat to the ground, keeping your palms facing up, arms away from your body, legs stretched out generously as well. Fill up the space of your mat. And just allow the whole back of your body to sink into the mat, into the ground. Feel the support as you rest into Shavasana. Taking a few deep breaths here. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the inside of your eyes. Allowing yourself just to melt, to feel heavy against the ground. Allowing all the tension to just flow away, just to float away. You don't need it. The ground is happy to support you, to help ease any tension you might have. And notice the energy flowing through your body as a result of this practice. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like, or if you want, you can gently come to a seated position. Comfortable seated position. Either way, let's bring our hands to our chest, either pressing the chest gently with love or coming into prayer position. Giving a thanks, a moment of gratitude for yourself for taking the time to do this practice, to help energize and release the body today. You deserve it. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Namaste.